The writer's strike ends and James Gunn goes, I'm going to start talking. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. That's right. James Gunn was like, all right, not going to waste any time. I'm going to start answering things. And does he have to answer everything? No! Stop it, James. Don't answer everything and repeat yourself. I've noticed that has been a thing where he just kind of repeats himself when it comes to certain things. But if you want to give some more information when it comes to certain things, when it comes to the DCU, fine. Do that. Debunk rumors. Do all that. Perfectly fine. But stop repeating yourself at least. Just stop. So we're going to talk about 4 things in this video right here. We're going to talk about canon. That's an issue. Returning actors. Shared universes. And Zack Snyder. Oh boy. Let's first talk about canon. This is what he has to say right here. When somebody asks him, you said DC Studio movies and canon start with Superman Legacy. I and many others are still confused, so he tries to clarify right here. Nothing is canon until Creature Commandos next year. A sort of I'm gonna just, I don't even know. That word is whatever, you know. Look it up yourselves, guys. I'm a big dumb. To the DCU, and then a deeper dive into the universe with Superman Legacy after that. It's a very human drive to want to understand everything all the time, but I think it's okay to be confused on what's happening in the DCU since no one has seen anything from the DCE, well, not the DC, I almost said the DCEU, but the DCU yet. So basically what he's saying right here is just going like, all right, guys, I get it. You don't understand what's happening. And I'm sure he's flying at the seat of his pants, obviously, when he talks about some of this stuff, whether it's responding to fans on whatever social media site that he's currently on or on that Michael Rosenbaum podcast. Some things are a little confusing, and I'm sure he realizes that, I probably fucked up on that one, fucked up on this one, whatever the hell. But at the same time, it's like, all right, let me try to clarify that. But then at the same time, people are like, well, what about Blue Beetle? You were talking about how he's like the first character, but then of course you're saying canon isn't starting till Creature Commandos. Yeah, it's a little confusing, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, well, he's said this before that, you know, really the canon starts when it comes to what he's producing. So, I mean, but when it comes to Blue Beetle, we're going to talk about that next. Because right here, he talks about returning actors to their characters. Jake right here asks, I'm wondering, how does the Blue Beetle movie factor in at this point in time? In the past, you said it was included in the new DCU, but some statements are conflicting. Will it have any relation to future projects, i.e. the Booster Gold show? Wink! James Gunn, of course, says right here, Xolo Maridueña will continue playing Blue Beetle in the DCU as Viola Davis will Amanda Waller, and John Cena will Peacemaker. Is there a fourth one? Do we have a fourth one? A certain Wonder Woman? What's going on there, James? Huh? Now, when it comes to Gal and Wonder Woman, I don't think she's coming back. I've been saying this all year, that she's not coming back with everything that's happening. I don't see her coming back. I really do not see her coming back, but you never know. And some negotiations still could be happening right now. Obviously, he can't talk about anything when it comes to actors like that, when it comes to that, at least. I mean, obviously, he talked about 3 actors right here, but maybe when it comes to Gal, it's a little bit more touchy. So with the strike, with the SAG after a strike, maybe he can't really say anything about that in particular right now. I don't know. I really don't know, but he does say Xolo is coming back because he probably already is like, yeah, of course there's going to be Blue Beetle and Booster Gold together. We have to have that because that's going to make that dynamic work. And when it comes to Viola Davis, it's already been announced that it's Waller, that Waller show is coming, and then Peacemaker season 2. Now, when it comes to how they fit in this universe and why they are returning, I guess it's just like one of those things, because we're going to talk about that with the next topic that he mentioned when it came to responding to fans. Is the fact of the matter is like, well, maybe they're just going to be very self-contained, even though that's going to be a little bit difficult when it comes to Amanda Waller, because, you know, she's very much a presence with the entire universe. But you have Viola Davis, you don't let her go. Shared universes. Now, this is my favorite thing that he posted today. I love this right here. If you think of anything as investing time and effort, no matter what shared universe, you definitely shouldn't be. Every story should be enjoyed and worth partaking in and of itself, without its attachment to an outside world. If it feels like homework, screw it. Shared universes should add fun to the individual stories, not the other way around. The individual stories and characters are much more important to me than the connections between them. Yeah, Jimmy. That's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm liking that. I'm liking that because a lot of us, and it's kind of funny too, because a lot of DC fans out there were going like, don't do what Marvel's doing. Don't do what Marvel's doing. They're always like setting up the next thing, which a lot of the movies do that. It's just like setting up the next thing. They're leading into the big crossover. And James Gunn right here has been a part of that and probably had to deal with that when doing the Guardians trilogy and probably hated it. You know, as much as he was like, yeah, I mean, obviously I want to expand the universe, but there's probably things where like, well, we want so-and-so to cameo or whatever the hell. And right here, he's just kind of going like, yeah, you know, if it feels like homework where you have to watch 20 movies before you see this one thing, screw it. And then, of course, somebody asked him about Zack Snyder, and they used a screenshot that when people are talking about the sell the Snyderverse to Netflix, which is that's still happening, by the way. I don't know why that's still happening, but it's still happening. Yes, the sell the Snyderverse to Netflix hashtag is still very much a thing. People are still trying to push it. I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense. But they are, and he answered right here, I would think it was obvious that I meant Zack hadn't expressed any interest to me in our discussions. So you can quit spamming this on every single post. Whoa, easy there. Exclamation point there, James. Yeah, I know, I get it. It can get a little frustrating, but man, just don't respond. Zack is happy where he's at right now. Do you think he wants to be part of what's going on over here in DC? Hell no, he does not. Who would want to be in this position that James Gunn is in? There's a lot riding to this. And James Gunn, I don't know why he wanted to take on the task, but he is. I mean, yeah, a little bit of inflated ego. Of course, that's why he took on the task. But Zack is happy where he is. Now, do I think that maybe one of these days we'll see that conclusion to his 5-part story arc that he was creating? Yes, but it's not going to be live action. Obviously, with everything that's happening right now, it would be either comic book, animation, I don't know, whichever one, pick or choose, and maybe they'll eventually just lead to that moment will happen sooner or later, I don't know. But as of right now, when it comes to this, James, stop responding. Just stop responding. You've already responded. And you're going to respond again. But of course, you know, it seems like he can't help himself right here. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, like, again, depending on how you feel about James Gunn is how you feel about these responses. I mean, I have mutuals that I know hate James Gunn, so I know how they're going to respond. I have mutuals that love James Gunn, and I know how they're going to respond. I'm always like right in the middle where I'm like, all right, well, this part right here is confusing. This part right here, I really like what you had to say when it was talking about the shared universes, and you know, and then I'm just like, James, stop responding and repeating yourself. Don't repeat yourself. That's what he needs to stop doing, in my opinion. It's not respond to every little question, and if you've already answered it, there's no reason to respond, James. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about it down below. What did you think about these responses from James Gunn? And I mean, I guess it's all free range right now. He's just going to just respond because now he can. All right, guys, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that. Love ya. Talk to you later.